Hey guys, how you doing? I just wanted to point out a video that I uploaded just before this, a long one with the BZ166 as well. It's just a compilation of videos. Sorry, showing the usual again, focus fire stuff. And I wanted to originally talk over that one a little bit, not for the entire length, of course, that'd be impossible for me, but it was such a long video that I, compilation put together, and for some reason Share Factory wouldn't let me edit it in there anymore and talk over. So I have more video kicking around on my hard drive that I wanted to get rid of anyway, so sorry, this would be like a two-part. But check out please that first one. It's almost an hour long. I know, an hour long World of Tanks video from a guy you've never heard of and don't like. It's a long time, but even if it's just for my own sake, because I like to back up everything I say or claim about the game or my experience with the game with video evidence, not just say it, right? And have you take me at face value. I would hope if you're familiar with my videos, you already know that, and do trust what I say. But if you know. Oh, well, whatever, you just want to see for yourself, it's there, right? Almost all my videos do speak for themselves, and because those are the ones I upload, ones that back up everything I say about the game, about Wargaming, and my experience in this game. My dwindling interest in this game. And Wargaming recently got rid of one of the very few CCs on the PC side. I don't like any of them on the console side. And there was only one that I really kind of respected. Maybe there's two guys on the console side that I like, but he was the only guy that I liked and respected in the way he played the game. And Wargaming just canceled him from the CC program because of something they didn't like that he said. I have a video talking about that one if you want to check that out. But yeah, that's Wargaming. Wargaming, the original censorship, cancel culture. As far as gaming studios that I know of goes, they're the original at it. But just would encourage you, please, to watch that. I put out talk about what I believe is unique about my World of Tanks experience. As far as the guys that churn out videos, I'm not putting myself in those guys' category. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but I'm just saying. The CC experience that I've seen is totally different than mine. Like, it's night and day. It's like they're playing a different game. And again, I saw CC on the console side talking about new tank and equipment and equipment changes and stuff like this that they plan on implementing down the road. This Wargaming roadmap. First of all, I don't think anybody in the Wargaming offices is capable of constructing or reading a roadmap. But he's talking about changes that he would like to see upcoming to the proposals that they're looking at for equipment changes and stuff like that. He started going on about the equipment, that he uses on almost every tank. And it's totally, again, it shows that their experience, what I say about their experience being totally different than my experience. Their equipment is almost all offensive. How to make the gun better, how to make the tank faster, and such. Mine has to be defensive all the time. And if you watch my videos, if you watch the Kill Bear compilation, and just any of the videos, whether they're part of that compilation of videos I put together, snippets of clips where I get focus fired and bizarre suicide runs, just swarmed by the enemy. That's the whole reason I put that Kill Bear compilation together for, was to prove it. What I was saying about what was happening to me in this game, because I saw it was unique. Guys I used to play with, they thought it was, they would comment and, God, they really go after you every single freaking game. I said, well, yeah, and I told you they were going after me constantly, but they had to believe it, see it to believe it, but he might for himself, right? Seeing is believing, and he didn't really, I guess, grasp what I was talking about until he saw it for himself, by platooning together, back in that, talking way back in the old days of this game. So they were talking about, he was talking about equipment that he uses and stuff like that, and it's totally different than the equipment I have to use just to survive a match. I'm lucky to survive. Even a winning match, I'm lucky to survive. First, I got to take camo net and reinforced ammo rack on every single tank I take. Even if it's most guys don't use it on heavy tanks, right? But it's a necessary piece of equipment. Trust me when I say that, for me, because as soon as I'm spotted, the guns will turn and swivel. The artillery pieces will turn and swivel to shoot at me, and they will shoot at me exclusively. Sometimes, majority of the time, I would dare to say, majority of the time, regardless of what tank or tier. I have examples, and more examples coming up where I'm a tier 6 tank in a tier 8 game, and the enemy team artillery is shooting the shit out of me. And most of the time, it's of course a winning strategy, because I get put on just freaking. I'm not talking about you little bit useless. I'm talking about utterly useless teams. So the equipment, even if I can get unspotted within a meter or two, helping me to go from spotted to unspotted, can mean the difference between me getting taken out practically instantly by the guns that will open up on me and me maybe surviving the match. That's how close it is for me. That's what a thin edge it is for me sometimes. And the amount of damage I sustain, just this is all RNG, and what I'm talking about is RNG, and it's matchmaking. That's it, RNG and matchmaking. Their RNG and matchmaking is 100% different, night and day different than mine. It's just unbelievable. So that's why I churn out the videos. That's why I feel the need to have to explain, even though the videos are self-explanatory. I mean, you can see, when the enemy team is rushing you, a guy. You can see when the enemy artillery is shooting exclusively at a guy, and but again, I just feel the need to, I don't know why, just to back up the claims, right, with the video evidence, with concrete video evidence. This game's going to be another example where I'm not I'm not top dog here, and yet the intense firing directed towards me, and believe me, it's hard. I'm tier 8 tank in a tier 10 game. There's going to be another example coming up where it's hard to just survive. And this, I believe this video is a win here, just like that other game. They should all be wins. They should all be easy wins when the enemy team is focusing that intently on one guy, and he's not a top tier tank. Yeah, you understand what I mean? This should be it should be a big mistake for the enemy team to do that. But far more often than not, it's it's not a mistake at all. Actually, it's a winning formula for them to take me out, and then the rest on my team, I have videos on proving this too. They disappear one by one, and often we'll go from a lead to not a single kill, or 1-2 kills. And I'm talking about when there's 10-12 guys left on my team, and they don't put together after I'm taken out, after all those guns were shooting at me. They can't mop it up, they can't finish it off. That's how bad the teams are that I get put on all the time in this game, that Wargaming matches me with. And that's why I put out the videos, right? I tried streaming too, just like seeing is believing kind of thing, and some people, watched and joined and stuff like that, and I appreciate that, but who wants to watch a guy get fucking shot at, exclusively blown up every single match he's in, Well, I'll admit it's not fun. It's not. That's why I'm kind of up. I think I'm at it. Pretty much an end with this game. So far as it's just the enjoyment factor is not there. I don't feel like I'm given a fair shake by Wargaming, especially when I see these CC's videos. They're not getting shot at. They're not getting the same kind of bounces or hit the tracks or the freaking ammo rack over and over, and a crew kill over and over and over. Just the amount of damage. I mean, of course you're not going to take as much damage when nobody's even shooting at them. This is another thing that amazes me. I cannot get away on a map with being positioned where they are positioned. And again, I have videos talking about this. Where I'm watching those guys play a tier 8 tank, let's say, on a tier 10 game, and they're using some cases the exact same positioning on me. There's 2 enemy artillery on the enemy team this video that they've uploaded, or videos that they've uploaded, and not a single time does the enemy artillery shoot at them. That doesn't happen to me. It doesn't. And I'm not a famous CC, I'm a nobody, right? But are the artillery guys who play this game, it's not a large community, right? And they can read names. This is why I want Wargaming. I would like the thing that might change me being able to play this game, enjoy it in the future is one thing. Take away the names from the tanks. So when the enemy team's looking at you, they can't see who's driving that tank. Because the artillery guys will look, see my name, and as soon as they see my name, regardless what tank or what tier I'm in, I become the target. Now you may seem that's bullshit. That's a brag. I'm not bragging. I'm not bullshitting. Watch the videos. It's all you got to do. It's the evidence for it. What I'm saying, what I'm telling you, is right there. So that would help me a lot, and it maybe make this game fun again, where I feel like I have a chance, the same kind of chance as anybody else, same kind of chance as these CCs, because right now I don't. I'm not getting the same kind of matchmaking where nobody's fucking even shooting at them. And their team is just good enough to pull out a win, right? I'm on the team that does frickin' nothing until the last. There's another thing that bothers me about this game that I talk about over and over again. The guys who do nothing until the game is over. The game is usually decided in the first 2-3 minutes. If you haven't fired a shot in the first 2-3 minutes, then you're not helping your team. You're relying on somebody else to win the game. I'm constantly put on those guys' teams. Here's an example. We had the lead when I died. And watch what happens to these guys. They evaporate. Because the enemy team was focused on me in a tier 8 tank. And the artillery guy was focused on me in a tier 8 tank. Because he knows not all of them are stupid. Some of them are like, nobody hates artillery guys more than me, but they're not all stupid. They know who to shoot and where to shoot. The good ones. So that's the purpose of my videos. I back up everything I say with evidence. Undisputable video evidence of game after game after game, match after match. And yeah, as I was saying, that the thing that bothers me about this game so much is those guys who don't do anything until the game's already over. And in the last few minutes, because they're the last ones left on the team, they're consistently getting top 5 finishes. Same thing happens in World of Warships. The game I've, given up pretty much playing. Even though it sunk a lot of time and money into that game as well. The guys who do nothing until the very end of the match, when it's either won for them or it's lost because of them. Why in any other game, would the guys who contributed to the loss by doing nothing when the game was in doubt, when the game was winnable, were doing nothing. They were hiding somewhere, doing nothing. Why does Wargaming reward those guys with top 5 because of what they do at the very end? It blows my mind how stupid that is. But that's Wargaming. That's the people they have in those offices. They're clueless. And then they wonder why nobody's playing the game anymore. Why it's turning into World of Bots. Which I have a video talking about, actually, if you want to check it out. The World of Bots. It's because the gameplay. See, they come up with these roadmaps. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to work on that. Nothing in there about the gameplay. Nothing in there about changing the reward system. Nothing in there about taking a guy's name away from the game. So the only time you can see who was in what tank is at the very end screen, right? And during the scoring at the end, when you see what everybody did on both teams. Nothing in there about those kinds of things. So that's why I'm kind of at my end with this game. And when I see these CCs and their gameplay, you know, I realize how it's insane. It's insanely different. It's like a completely different game that they're playing than the one I'm playing. They're getting completely different teammates. They're getting put against guys who are completely different than the guys I'm up against. I say this many times in my videos, and it's because it's true. I'm on Team Pussycat all the time. Almost all the time. Up against Team Lion. The guys on my team, Pussycats, hide in the corner. They all go to one side of the map, and then they put it in park, and, you know, they can't see, they can't read, they can't count, they can't tell time, they're colorblind. All the usual, you know. Whereas the enemy team that I'm up against has guys who are competent. Their top tier guys are doing something. My top tier guys are fucking hiding in a corner, doing nothing, hoping nobody sees them until the end of the match. Then they could do a little bit of damage at the very end when the game's no longer in doubt, it's a loss, but they get top 5 finishes for that. It's bizarre. I hate that so much about this game. But Wargaming gonna fix that part? No. No mention it in their roadmap to the future. So my prediction for the future of this game is more bots. That's my prediction. Because of Wargaming's ineptitude. Anyhow, guys, check out the long video that preceded this one that you just watched. And if you did watch this, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you soon on another one.